Well, hello and welcome to the Power of Your Mind podcast. I'm Victoria Gallagher, your host, and I'm here to inspire you to tap into the incredible power of your mind by helping you to understand the law of attraction, manifestation, hypnosis, affirmations, meditation, and all kinds of powerful tools designed to rewire your mindset and propel you toward success. Every week, we discuss proven strategies and approaches to empower you to manifest your dreams and achieve your highest potential. So make sure you tune in each week to get inspired and unlock the power of your mind. Before we begin, just a reminder to subscribe to the Power of Your Mind podcast on your favorite platform so that you never miss an episode. This is an opportunity for you to get inspired, transform your life. And if you are new to this show, let me just let you know a little bit about my background. I've been a hypnotherapist for the past 26 years, digital course creator, international speaker, entrepreneur. I specialize in helping business professionals use the power of their minds to manifest success. Also, the creator of the Believe Hypnosis app, which is designed to help you make powerful changes in your life. So be sure to download the Believe Hypnosis app. Gives you access to over 1,000 hypnosis sessions, all designed to help you to achieve your dreams and goals. Now, today's episode is number 376. And we are going to be talking with Judy Wilkins Smith, who is a highly regarded executive coach, family patterns, systemic work, and constellations expert. She is passionate about individual human potential, visionary leadership, and positive accelerated global change. Judy's work is truly revolutionary. Through her unique ability to understand critical relational dynamics and patterns in personal and organizational systems, she has taken the highly esteemed healing methodologies of systemic work and constellations to a whole new level for use as powerful new tools for personal growth and organizational transformation. And Judy can be found at Judy Wilkins smith.com. And so today we're going to have a transformational conversation, all designed to teach you how our neural pathways around money, one thought, one feeling, one action at a time, can truly help you to flip the script on these old, outdated beliefs, misconceptions like money is the root of all evil, and instead help you to embrace money as the good guy, not the villain. So get ready to shift your perspective and see money for what it truly is. And so let's dive in and start transforming the way we think about wealth and abundance. Welcome to the show, Judy.
Hi, Victoria. It's lovely to be with you.
It is so great to have you here. I've been really excited to dive into this conversation. It's so interesting. I love what you do. Tell us just a little bit about your background, how you got started in this field.
Oh my goodness. I got started in this field because when you get a universal push, it's kind of that simple. So what happened for me was I was actually in healthcare, came over to the States, and then my father was killed and they failed him in all of the disciplines that I was a specialist in. And that was it. It was that door just closed. I didn't want to work in healthcare and in the sick field anymore. I just didn't. I knew that there were lots of good people doing good work, but for me, I'd lost faith. So then it was, okay, what do I want to do next? It's either write books or go crazy. And I decided writing books was probably a better idea than going crazy. And yeah, so I started writing a book and then got into systemic work because I wrote to somebody and asked a question, and they said, "Come and study my work and I'll help you with a book." So fast forward, I studied the work, studied more of the work in organizational pieces, found it highly effective, and got zero help for the book. Just saying.
Mm, hmm
But
hmm
completed the book. And then as I was doing this, people kept saying to me, "You have to write a book about this. You have to write a book about this." And I went, "I don't want to write a book about this." And they said, "You have to write a book." So I wrote a book, and they said, and then somebody said to me, "Oh, this is good. You need a literary agent." And I went, "I don't need a literary agent. I've written the book. Just read the book." Got a literary agent. Literary agent came back and said to me, "Oh, Sounds True says they want you to write the book."
Ooh,
Oh dear, stuff just got real. So wrote
yeah.
the book, finished the book, and then, of course, wrote the second book, which is the Hidden Power in Your DNA. The first one's Decoding Your Emotional Blueprint. And the third one that's coming will be about money. Interestingly enough, because everybody wants to know about money, and money is a great friend, an incredibly wise but disciplined mentor. It can bring you so much joy. It depends how you partner with it. I heard you earlier, and it's really important. I heard you earlier talking about affirmations. And I'm going to tell you the reason that affirmations don't work and how they can work. So they
Right.
don't work if you sit there and say, "I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich." It's not going to work. You've got to
No.
get really clear about your goal. And then, and this is important, your brain has to tell your body a story that your body believes. And that
Mhm.
involves taking a higher emotion and a goal and going, "I'm not quitting. This is it. Here's where the rubber hits the road. I got this." And people always say to me, "That's so hard." And it's not. Because every single day you're going, "I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I can't." And your body's going, "Okay, okay, okay." So you've got to use that same but higher emotional integration of the thought and the feeling and the action. Because yeah, sitting on meditating on a lotus blossom will get you a lotus blossom.
Exactly. Yeah. I 100% agree with that. If you just say it, and you're not believing it and you're not getting it into
Power of
like,
belief.
yes,
Power of
absolutely.
belief. That's one of the powers that we don't speak about enough, I think. The power of belief is huge when you can get your head, heart, and gut aligned. So your head saying yes, your heart is open, and your gut's with you on the journey. That's when things shift. But you've got to cultivate unwavering belief.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely on the same page here with that. So thank you for sharing that. Why is it so critical, our relationship with money? Why is that so critical to manifesting more of it?
Gosh, because money is not a commodity, it is a relationship. And the way that you show up for it is the way it's going to show up for you. So why is our relationship with it critical? If you want more of it, you've got to be friendly. Nobody wants to stick around you who's going, love, what's it? Money is the root of all evil, or love of money is the root of all evil. Those terrible rich people, these greedy. Okay, well then you're not going to be there because you've given it that connotation. So every time you move in towards money, you're going to go, "Oh, that's greedy," and you're going to back away. "Oh, those people are terrible," and you're going to back away. So you're psyching yourself out all the time. So you want to look at money and have a relationship where you go, "You know what? Look what you and I did today. Look how we partnered. Hey, thanks, money. I had a warm bath today. You put gas in my car." You've got to start talking to it as a friend. I make my people go on money walks. And they all look at me
Mm.
and go, "Are you crazy? This is bull." And then they go on the walk, they come back and they see the results and they go, "This works." Yes.
Tell me, tell
What
me
did
about
you?
those money walks. I love
Okay.
that.
So Money Walk started for me. I got to here and all of a sudden we had no money because we'd had to move from South Africa and leave our money behind. And it was pretty bad. And I remember going for a walk and I said, "Okay, God, guides, universe, whatever it is, I need to talk to money." And I thought I was, that sort of you're going to get hit because money is bad. And instead there was sort of a bit of a grin, I want to say, that I felt. And I went on this walk. And at first I was angry, then I was sad, then I cried, then I started thinking about it and I thought, "Oh my goodness, when I was a little kid, there were canna lilies, and the canna lilies have seeds. And I used to pick those up because I knew if I could give those to my mom, she could grow more and more and more and more. So I had a sense of currency way back. And then a little bit older, if you turned in bottles or tops, you got money for that. And it was
Right.
like, people are leaving money all over on the floor. I'm going to pick it up. And so I'd had that. And then as I grew up, it became money doesn't grow on trees. Only greedy people have money. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I psyched myself out. And I always tell people I couldn't have a relationship with money. It was so bad. I went to a casino with my mom-in-law and my husband and co. And I've got her big cup of coins and I've got my little bitty one. And I put three coins in and I hit a jackpot. It wasn't a huge one, but for
Hmm.
us it was big. And then I realized I'd taken them out of hers by mistake. Now, in
Oh,
my family, the systemic sentence or value is honor and honesty. So I go up to her. I mean, any other person would have taken these three coins and put them in there and gone, oops, mistake. No, no. I go up to her and I say to her, well, I hit the jackpot, but I used your three coins, so I guess it's your jackpot. And she took it.
oh my
And
goodness.
everybody said, how awful is she? I said, no, she had a good relationship with money. Money was trying to play with me, and I was not letting it get in except through tiny little keyholes. Must look like this, should have a blue ribbon on, cannot reach me. And we do this. And so
Yeah.
money goes, good Lord, you're giving me one avenue to get in through. And I really had to improve that and learn to be friends with and love money. But so back to the walk. So I go on the walk and on the way back, I'm really thinking about money and I'm thinking, got to get to be friends with money. And I said to money, I'd like to be friends. Show me what I need to do. Talk to me.
That's
And on the way back, I
beautiful.
picked up a $1 bill, I picked up a $5 bill, I picked up a $10 bill, I picked up a 20 and a 100. And people always say to me, you didn't really do that. But yes, I did that. And my daughter was here, she said to me, where'd you get that? And I said, it was lying around. And that was when I knew money was not an inanimate object. It is flow. It's flow in the universe. It's the blood, like the blood in our veins. Money is the blood that flows in and out. And if you don't have a good venous system, you're in trouble.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love that. That is amazing. That is amazing. And it's so true. I mean, people are constantly, saying negative things about money. Um,
Push
and
away.
and you push it away when you do that, because you're not going to go against yourself. And so if you're of the mindset that it's, people that have money are bad people or greedy or
Right.
whatever, you're telling yourself, well, I guess I shouldn't have money.
Absolutely. And bear in mind, our minds, as you know, are super powerful things. So the minute we start with fear around money or lack around money, we're actually pushing that universal substance away from us. We're pushing money away. The minute we start interacting with it and we're happy to see it and we welcome it and it's fun, we're pulling it. So you've really got to think of your mind as the push pull. Are you pulling
Hmm.
money in or are you pushing money away at all
Yeah.
times? Yeah,
So tell us a little bit more about the whole idea of our money DNA. I'm really curious
right.
about learning about that.
Okay, so first thing you need to know is you've got emotional DNA. Most people don't even know that. You have physical DNA, but your patterns of thoughts, feelings, and actions are your emotional DNA. And you inherit that one of a couple of ways. Either it's by sort of watching and word of mouth and what's come down through the family and is now in your mouth.
Hmm.
Or there is an incident or an event around money, and it's a large enough one that it creates an emotional imprint, which becomes an epigenetic imprint, and that then activates or deactivates your on-off switches on your gene expression. So it activates the way your genes are expressed. So you're sitting with both of those. So that's emotional DNA. Money DNA, no different. My father says that you shouldn't have too much money. My grandfather says too much money will kill you. My great grandfather had a lot of money and he was killed for it. Okay, so now we know where that saying came from. Does it need to come out of my mouth, my brain, and my heart anymore? No. So what
Right.
happens for me is I look at it and go, okay, I hear that and I see where it came from, and that belongs with you, not me. For me, I want to be the person around whom money is alive. And when you start to make that switch, all of a sudden you're the one who investigates money. You're money savvy. You're financially literate because you've decided you're not playing that anymore. What you're doing is you've stopped the old pattern. You're no longer a captive or a prisoner of your history. And now you're creating a new future as well as being fully present in the now. And that's when you create.
Yes. So many people, they grow up with these, their parents, and they listen without realizing that they're picking up these negative, unconscious money patterns. I myself personally, I saw it on both sides. I saw my dad make a lot of money for a while and end up, like dying with literally nothing.
Wow.
Um, yeah. And then, I kind of just recently became aware of this. My mother, she's constantly on living on survival mode, just, and that was her, I mean, that was her mindset was just, it's all about survival, nothing beyond that. Like,
Right.
and, so you can imagine, growing up, hearing all of that, it was definitely something that I integrated without unknowingly. I was like, I always
Exactly.
wondered, like, why do I always feel like I have to work so hard?
We're surviving, we're surviving, we're surviving. And you've got to get beyond that. Your next step is, okay, so what if I were a millionairess? Why
Yes,
don't I go and become that?
I'm
Uh,
going to. I'm ready.
well, and if you are, and this is the other thing that money demands. In fact, any manifestation process demands two things: total belief, complete commitment. That means you don't quit. You keep going till you have it. One of the things that I do when I do a money event is I will often give people, there's a book, and it looks like, these books you have with the credit card holders?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Yes.
you number them, and I've seen this actually done on TV too. So disclaimer, I have seen it done. But I do this, and it's 1 to 100. And the first day you put $1 in the one, then $2 in, that whole thing until you get to
Yes.
100. At the end of
hmm
that, you have $5,050.
Isn't that crazy? I
It's
love that the way
crazy.
that math works out.
But here's the other piece. What you're doing that people don't understand is every time you put it in, you're interacting with money, physical money. You're touching it. You're very
Yep.
happy because it's going in. You're speaking to it. You're speaking to yourself and going, look at me, watch me. I'm putting money in here. I'm growing money. So you and money are having this whole mini adventure. And so I tell people to do that. I give them the books, and I have a lot of people who will tell me, this is my fourth go around. This is my fifth go around. And guess what? I'm investing and I'm growing and I'm on my way. And once you're on your way, you also start becoming true to what it is that you want. If you want to be a
Mhm.
millionaire, it means, you know what, that magazine you just saw, that's a part of what was going to go into your book. Do you really need that magazine? Do you
Right.
really need it? Yeah.
Right.
Or are you going to get your book filled and then keep working on that, hit your 7 figures and go, that magazine I wanted? Well, I don't really anymore, but I can do that one.
Yes. Yes.
So you're moving yourself out of survival and into thrival. Now, there are a lot of people who will say you should do more with less. The world does not do more with less. It cannot expand with less.
You're
So I
right.
would like to say to anybody, please, if people tell you to want less, plug your ears. Go want more and then go make more happen because it's not just benefiting you, it's benefiting those around you and your communities. You're waking other people up to what's possible with money.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, with money, you can help people. You can help, when there's, you know, disasters or something tragic happens to somebody or all of the wonderful charities that there are. I mean, it's not even just about what you can do for yourself, but
It
it's
never
what you
is.
can.
Our first inclination as a human, once we've got there, is to share. But fill your own cup first.
Yes, absolutely. So once we have identified that we have these patterns, like for example, that survival pattern, how can we break through those patterns?
So one of the things I say to people is find your fire.
Hmm.
And your fire can come from anger, sadness, happiness, determination. Frankly, happiness and determination are a whole lot better than anger and sadness, but it may be. You may look at your mom and go, I am so sick of survival in this family. I am sick of it, not doing it anymore. Often a pattern switch comes when you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. So there's one. So you
Hmm.
look at that and you say, I'm tired. My mom's just survived. My dad went up and down. I am not doing that. There's your first little piece. Your next piece is, I am going to go and make sure that I'm financially secure. What does that first step look like for me? Okay, I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. I'm beyond living paycheck to paycheck, and I've started putting away. Because when you do that, you're building the winner effect. The next thing
Mm.
that's going to happen for you is you're going to go, I wonder what else I could do to put more away. Hmm. Or bring more in. Then the mind starts to get creative. What you've done now is you've moved from survival brain to creative brain. Big switch. And in creative brain, you're suddenly going to start attracting and bringing things in. And that is the law of attraction works on commitment and belief.
I believe
That's what
that.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks at it, says, how much do you want? How badly do you want it? Are you aligned with it? And when they say aligned, it means your head, your brain is switched on, creative brain is switched on, heart is open, gut is settled, we're aligned, and off we go. And it also relies on the don't quit factor. You don't quit.
That is such an important part of it. I mean, so many people like there's like, well, I tried this for 30 days
Ay,
and
ay,
it
ay.
didn't work. And it's like, how bad do you want it? I mean, like it,
That's it. You've got to want it with every single piece of yourself. You've got to want it. And yes, it may take more than 30 days. I love Disney. Anybody who knows me knows that Disney is my thing. I wear Disney necklace. I'm a
mm,
Disney person. I made a promise to Walt when I was 9 and he died that if there was no one else, I would help make magic. And so magic is my thing.
you met him?
I did not. I did not. I only heard he died, but I made the promise.
Got it.
I
Okay.
know someone who has met him, but that's another
Yeah.
story. Anyway, so I went to Disney World. It's my favorite place on earth. Went to Disney World and I saw all of these happy looking people coming out of these different resorts. Now we were there on timeshare and a shoestring. I mean, it was literally we're going to have breakfast at the condo. We're going to run down to Disney because we've got enough money. We can all share lunch. It was, but I saw all of these people and I looked at that and I thought, you know what? I want timeshare at Disney. I want
Yeah.
timeshare at Disney. And I went home and I wrote on an envelope Disney timeshare and I put in $1. We had nothing, nothing, Victoria. We were scrapping to get by and to start. And then about 3 or 4 years later, my brother said, we'd like to come and visit. And everything that was over or extra, I would put in that envelope. Didn't look at it, just put it in. And I said to him, let me see if I can help you with accommodation or something if you're coming over, because we were going to meet them there. And I went to that envelope and I opened it and I counted the money and I looked at timeshare and I had exactly the right amount to put on a down payment.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing.
So I put the down payment on, and that year we went to Disney, to the beach club, and I was one of those people walking out. And every single time we go, this year's another one, every single time we go for 2 weeks. And I never forget that I'm one of those people who's walking out there with a happy look. And it started with an envelope, and I never quit. Every
Yeah.
time I put $1 in, I would see us walking out of the condo was like, we got this.
That's a beautiful story. And, just the fact that, you got inspired by all the happy people and you just wanted to blend in and be not necessarily blend in, but you just wanted to be one of those happy
I
people and
wanted
you
to
knew
be
that you could
one
do
of
that.
those, walking out of
Yes.
one of those resorts and going, I have timeshare there.
Yes. That I love that story. That is amazing. Tell us about possibility thinking. Possibility thinking is such a powerful
It's
concept.
huge. It's huge. It's part of manifestation. If you don't think it's possible, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
simple. But the minute you hold the possibility, here's what I say to people. They go, well, what if I'm disappointed? You might be, but you'll
Hmm.
still have come further than you were. So you'll have a new place to start from. But here's the deal. What if you never try?
Yeah.
You're going to be super disappointed because life is there and all of the opportunities are there, but you've got to go get them. Possibility thinking is, I wonder what if, for me, again, I was at Disney and I thought, I love this place so much. What if I could teach there? So I went and
Hmm.
asked them and I said, what does it take to teach at Disney? And they said, well, you've got to put down a deposit of $10,000. And I nearly fell off my chair. I was like, okay, well, that's not happening. And then I walked off and I thought, no, wait. How many people would it take to satisfy that deposit? It would take
Hmm.
X number of people. I know I could get that number of people to come to the events. I'm going to do it. I sweated. So for everybody who thinks it's easy, I sweated. Every
Yeah.
person who signed up, I was like, oh, because I did not want to have to put down $10,000 that I didn't have.
Yeah.
But it
Yes.
was like, I can do this. I can do this. So I stretched and I kept thinking the possibility is there. You could be teaching at Disney. And this year, I think will be my 10th year that I'm teaching there at Disney. I teach once a year. And we take 4 days and we do a deep dive into one of the emotional DNA brackets. This year it'll be breakthrough. So we got you this far. How do you go the rest of the way? And yeah, I teach at Disney. People come, we stay at the beach club. It's in the luxury section. It's a stretch, which I want. Because when you've stretched once, you know you can. And so you've got
Yes.
to always hold the possibility, but you don't just hold the possibility and go, I wonder what if, yeah, that sounds nice. It's, I wonder what if, and now how can I go there?
I think that that's part of the key as well, is having something like that you're really having to have the faith. You're really taking some kind of a risk. But when you do that, there's just something that you are really surrendering to the universe. You're really saying, like, I believe in myself.
You're saying, I believe in myself, which is huge. You're betting on yourself. There's another piece that's really important. Your goal has to be bigger than where you are now. That's why I
Yes.
say stretch, because otherwise, what's the point? You will stay sitting on the sofa. But if your goal is big enough and it excites you enough, it's going to pull you past all of your excuses for staying stuck. It's not even that you're surrendering to the universe, you're co-creating with the universe. And you can feel that when you start to get those giggles and bubbles and all sorts of things, and you actually do something that you didn't think you could do. Well, now the whole universe is open because darn it, if I could do that, what else can I do here? And so it really activates that whole piece. And you've got to activate your breakthrough DNA for it to happen. You've got to activate the fire within and the belief. And then you've
And
just got to give it a chance.
yeah. How do you activate that? Can you give us a little glimpse into what you can do
Okay,
to
so
activate that?
if it's for me, let me think about it. If it's a money one,
Hmm.
okay. So I know I want to get to point X. And I go, at point X, with X amount of dollars in the bank, I could start to breathe. I could think about putting a deposit down on a house. That excites me. Okay, I want this. How much do I want? I really want this. And then I don't allow the systemic voices, which, by the way, are the voices of your ancestors, to go, well, you shouldn't do that. It's not a good idea. All those little voices of doubt that come from prior generations, that's a
Yeah.
no. That gets shut down. I get very firmly into this is what I want.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is where I'm going.
Yeah.
And I start taking steps. It doesn't matter if it's a very little step, I will take a step. Doesn't matter if it's reading an article. Doesn't matter if it's getting up and taking a penny and putting it into an envelope. I will take the steps, because the more that I do that, the more I light the fire and the more I light that want. And when I have that want, and it's so exciting that I can't stand myself, like
Yeah.
going to Disney, and you may have fear and excitement doing this at the same time, I know that my fire is lit. Or bringing my brother across for the first time. I had to do so many things. I used frequent flyer miles. I
Hmm.
used, you name it, I used it. But I knew that I was doing something out of my comfort zone and was going to bring about the possibility of the family coming together, having a great time at Disney because I knew how I could do those tickets. It was all the planning and stuff. And it was just like, I got this. Even if I don't feel like I've got it fully, that
Yeah.
excitement is there. You've got to be excited about what you're doing. Excited, determined, sometimes playful,
Yeah.
open-minded, because opportunities like frequent flyer miles. People don't understand if you're good with your credit cards and you pay them down every month and you have a frequent flyer partner attached to that. Oh my goodness, you're paying for your vacation. Find the ways for money to play with you. When somebody takes you out for a meal, money is playing with you. When somebody sends you an unexpected check, don't ever take that unexpected check and go, oh, goody, I'll go spend that. That was sent to you to invest. What is
Yes.
the goal you're investing in, guys? That's where it goes. So you've got to be on the same page, you and money, as your goal. And make
Yes.
that goal have to keep drawing you all the time.
I love everything you're saying. And, to me, I feel like I can kind of sum it up in that, you want to, never let any of those negative, fearful thoughts drag you back over there and deter your focus. You've got to keep your focus on the prize, on what it is that you're going for. And you've got to be acting from and feeling from and thinking from that place where you're going, not that the old systemic, sentences that,
Exactly.
are, yeah.
And
And
in
it's so
writing.
easy for some people to just let that, dictate what they do.
No, I agree with you. And there's an exercise for that, but you've also got to feel what it would feel like to be there. That's
Hmm.
important because then that excites you. It's a very strong attractor. Your other
Yeah.
very strong attractor are all of those negative comments. So one of the exercises I will often give to people is I say, draw two lines
Hmm.
on the floor or put down something that represents a line. Okay. On this side are all of the old sentences. You can't, you shouldn't, it's bad, it's evil, it's ugly, it's love or money, all of those. Write them all down and put them behind the line.
Okay.
Now put your goal on the other side and write all of the things that you think about that won't be in survival anymore, will be in thrival. Going to be able to buy a home, going to be able to buy my car, going to go on those vacations, going to feel safe, and put those there. Now, every time that you walk towards it, if another little negative one comes up, write it down and put it back behind the line so it knows where its place is.
Oh my goodness. That's genius.
And so all the time, every time it comes, you just go put it back behind the line and you keep moving towards your goal. And every time that you put money in, add money in, invest money in, you tell yourself what you felt about that, and that goes by your goal. So now you're forming a strong attractor over here, and you're putting your detractor behind the line.
That's genius. I really, really, I'm going to use that. I'm going to teach that. I'm going to teach other people to use that. I think that's incredible. So are there any other, this has been lovely. You really have a wealth of ideas and information, and it just makes so much sense. I think you've opened a lot of eyes here. So, just as we close out, like, do you have any practical tips on how to, any other practical tips? Because you've already given so many.
Sure. First thing is sit down, take a book, sit down and start writing all of your thoughts about money, all of your thoughts, all of your feelings, and all of your actions. And then ask yourself, when did that start for me? What was happening in my life at the time? What did I make it mean about me? and what did I make it mean about others? Because you'll see there are patterns there. And where did that come from? Is there someone else in the family like this? Because it might be a family pattern. It very often is. Then ask yourself what wants to stop.
Hmm.
And now ask yourself what wants to start. But it can't be, I'd like to just get to the next page. It's got to be exciting. What wants to start? What do I really want over there? And then do the same thing. Write down all your thoughts, all your feelings, and all your actions about that. Now you have the pattern that's trying to start, and you start moving yourself in that direction. And I would say, as a final thing, give yourself a money goal and don't give up. And make it a stretch, not a crack.
Yes. I mean, that's the way that we grow. That's the way that we expand. That's the way we all expand. And so tell us a little bit about this, your latest book, and then also I'd love to hear a little bit about your breakthrough DNA workshop that you're going to be having at, of course, Disney World.
Yep, at Disney World. So two things. I would say the first book is important too. It's very important. It's been a bestseller. It's called Decoding Your Emotional Blueprint. And that really tells you about who you are, how to figure it out, and what you want to become. Because you are you, but the becoming depends on your decisions. So that's important. And then the next one is the hidden power in your DNA. And it explains to you genealogy 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. 1.0 is go spit in a bottle, that's where you belong. 2.0 is you spat in a bottle, where do you come from? And then what are the events in that region that may have affected you? And genealogy 3.0 is what I teach, which is how are you being affected by your ancestors? And instead of being cause and effect, how do we switch you to causing effect? So
Hmm.
that's the second one. Breakthrough DNA. I have a lot of people in systemic work and constellations who come to heal multi-generational trauma, to see what happened to them, to understand why they are the way they are. And that's great. Now it's time to take what you know and go for those goals we were talking about. So it's the breakthrough piece. It's here I am, and what do I want to create? What is my chapter? What is the next chapter in the emotional DNA in our family? And you can bring anything you want. It could be money, relationships, leadership, career, you name it. That's what you want to do is bring that, and we take you from where you are and show you to where you want to be and how.
Amazing. And that's so you do that over 4 days.
I do that over
And
4 days. It's the October 9th through 12th at Disney World. And so what we do is over the 4 days, between about 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and 4 in the afternoon, it's deep dives classes. And then in the evening, it's go play in the magic.
ooh,
Because we are literally where we stay is Epcot to the left over the hill and
yeah.
Hollywood Studios, either via the gondolas or the ferry. You're off to Hollywood Studios, or you can catch the bus to any one of the others. So you get to play in the heart of magic and you're busy making magic. So it's a great fit.
Oh, that's wonderful. Where can people, sign up for that? Where can people find out more? And where can people buy your book?
So, Judy Wilkins-Smith.com is where they would go. That's about to go up on the boards at the moment. They're busy with the final verbiage. But if they reach out to me, they'll see, I think my name, at least my address is on my website, which is good. It's very easy. Email, it's jmsmit21 at gmail. And they just reach out to me and we'll get them sorted out and registered. But registration will open within the next couple of weeks.
Okay. And this episode will probably air right about that time. So people hearing this for the first time will just be able to go and register.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And they're welcome to register. So it's people come to these events and they go away very, very different. Very different. I have lots of business people who come and they go, got back home, had the breakthrough. Yep, it happens.
Give me just one example of a transformation that stood out to you, of somebody going through this process.
Oh, there are so many. Do you want a money one or do you want let's think. Um, so let's go personal one first. I had somebody who really didn't fit in her family and it bothered her greatly. She said, I want to fit in. I want to belong in my family. They're all so stoic. I'm not stoic. I'm very ebullient. I'm very extrovert. I have a lot of loving and I want to love them, but they're just stoic. My brother fits in and she said, growing up, all they ever gave me was little drops of love. And this she kept saying that the whole time we were working. And eventually I said, just tell me about your parents,
Mm.
Holocaust survivors.
Oh,
So I said
wow.
to her, stop. Could they express emotion? And she said, no, it could have killed them. And I said to her, do you understand that? And she went, yes. And your brother is the same. Yes, he's the eldest, and they'll often be very similar. So she said, but I'm not. I said, so you're very loving. Yes. Do you understand that you very much belong in your family? No. So I said to her, they gave you little drops of love. And what did you make of them? You grew this great big amount of love that you have in your family. People around you love to be around you because you're loving. Do you understand? You took the little bit that they could give you and you grew it into a legacy for them. And she just cried and
Oh,
got it. So those, but I
that's
think
a
the other
great reframe. That's a great, great
and this
reframe.
is this is it. The reframe is so important for all of us all the time.
Yeah.
But I had another gentleman who came in and he said to me he'd been trying to close a deal for 11 years. 11 years on a deal. I'm
Oh
like,
my goodness.
what do you want me to do? He said, can we just look at it and can we see? And we looked at it and I pointed out some things and we shifted things around and reframed it. And we go to lunch and we come back to the class and he's going, and I said to him, what's going on? He said, they just signed the deal. And this
Oh
is
my God.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? He said, no, and this happens all the time. I will have people who come in and they say, well, mom hasn't spoken to me for 20 years, and they go off for lunch or they come back and they go, my mother just called. So this is what happens when we shift. We
Yes.
do not realize the power of our shifting. When we shift just degrees, we
Yes.
cause great shift in our own lives.
Well, I would encourage anybody who's thinking that they want to move forward and have that breakthrough to check out Judy's
Come play.
website. Yes, definitely. Come play, use your imagination, get clear on your goal,
Work very
and
hard, deep dive, reshape, and
yes.
reframe. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your strategies and your tips and your story. It's been an enlightening conversation, and I just, I'm so glad that we got to, an opportunity to chat.
I'm so glad that you had me on. That was good fun.
Yeah, it was. It was. So, thank you so much for joining us today for the Power of Your Mind podcast, and we will see you next week.